What's up, guys? It's time to do some chart pulling for the fusion. Before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit about the current events that we're gonna have. So, we have the 4 assassins. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think any of them is screaming to me that this is gonna be the new top tier PvP meta champion. Bayek has a little bit interesting passive with not being able to be crit on your team, but it's conditional. Sometimes it could be great, sometimes it could be not even work in a matchup, and nothing in the rest of his kit seems insane, and it's kind of same with all of the assassins. The fusion I'm definitely gonna go for, just because of the faction wars mainly. I'm not really expecting her to be relevant, super relevant in anywhere else. Maybe people do some PvE teams, but I doubt she will be top tier in anything other than faction wars. And Pontiff Augustin is not even really part of this event. I don't know why he's being bundled up here. He's the one champion on this list that seems like he's gonna be great in PvP, and I'm almost kind of worried about him. Let's take a quick look at him and the fusion, and then I'll get to my shard pulling. So if you don't care about this, you can just skip to the next part. So this guy, I'm a little bit afraid of him, because I think with turn meter boost, and it's pretty good one with 25%, 25% turn meter boost and increase accuracy and intercept on everybody, this is gonna be like the new go-to speed booster, I think, on many of those annoying teams I hate that have like bombs or Gizmak or this kind of stuff. I think we're gonna see him a lot in PvP, so. And even the rest of his kit is pretty good. All of the skills are like useful. Even lockout debuff on A1, which is kind of bonkers. I mean, not that we haven't seen that before on multiple other speed champions like Xenogenesis and R-Base, but he does it as well. I think this one is gonna see a lot of use. I don't think there's really need to go any further on his kit. It's mainly about the A3. Everything else is added bonus, but the A3 is insanely powerful skill, so this is definitely gonna see a lot use in live arena. Maybe classic arena offense too, I would bet, but these kind of things are not really something that I do or can do. I don't have the champions that need this kind of champion, but I'm sure I'm gonna face this guy a lot, and you guys will as well. So now that we have all of these events, this might be the one champion that you want to invest your resources into, especially if it's like if you use a lot of speed teams that would benefit from the A3. Everything else I would say is pretty, unremarkable. You could definitely go for them, but even somebody like, let's quickly take a look at Ezio. Where is he? Like, Ezio seems almost like he could be used in PvP, like he can do poisons or bombs and so on. But even on his kit, it seems there is better champions to do it, and nothing really, nothing special about him really. They have the assassin shared passive, which I wish I thought they would try to make relevant, but yeah, that's how I feel about them. As far as the current fusion goes, I'm sure everybody's gonna go for it, and nobody's even considering skipping her. But in case you are, she's the only champion we right now have in the new faction. I think they said that it's gonna take like a week until we get the faction wars, or I think they said specifically that we're not getting it in the first week, so I'm assuming it means that we get it on the second or something. But don't take that promise to the bank. But not only is she the first champion in the faction, she does have a kind of special role, which I don't think will obviously make her even relevant in PvP, despite kind of having pseudo unkillable like abilities that you will put out a bunch of buffs on her, and then she cannot be killed while she has those buffs. And Even though the ability has cooled down, the passive effect doesn't. I confirmed this with the community managers, and it's pretty obvious based on this, since it's not a passive with a cooldown, but an ability. So when she has those buffs, she will always stay 1 health and cannot be killed during that duration. In PvP, this is not really that useful, because you're not gonna build a nuker in 9-beast protection, and there's so many buff strippers that your head will spin in live arena. Like, every other team has, like, you know, 7 different buff strips or more, so it's not really that hard to deal with. And not only does she have this skill, which is of course gonna be relevant on PvE if you know that the waves don't have buff strips, and we don't know what the Faction Wars boss is gonna be though, so if it's the one that steals your boss, it's gonna suck. I hope it's not, because then this is like a massive trap and bait, and there's gonna be so much rioting on Reddit. Actually, well, I don't want it to happen, but if we do have it, then I guess I'll whip out some popcorn and go browse Reddit when that happens. But also the passive that you get increase. Okay, let's read this kit. Whenever this champion attacks an enemy, increases this champion's attack by 50% of target's defense. Whenever enemy attacks this champion, increases this champion's defense by 50% of attacker's attack. So basically, she will do more damage to the bosses and take less damage from them. Meaning that I think she will be great, obviously, on the Faction Wars boss, assuming that it doesn't buff strip you or steal your buffs, in case people will go bananas on Reddit, which almost makes me think that surely Plarium knows better and they're not gonna do it, but I wouldn't put it past them. Also has universal speed auto, so this is gonna be like a given for Faction Wars, so don't skip it. Faction Wars is endgame content right now. It used to be a meme, if anybody remembers, that if there was like any new champion that is like bad and people get disappointed, then the one good thing you can say about that champion is that, hey, it's probably gonna be good for Faction Wars, but now it actually matters, so don't skip this. Save your resources for the Pontiff event, whatever that is gonna be. Likely that there's gonna be some Deco Fates or Soul events for some of these champions. I don't really know which ones. If I can get some of the assassins easily without investing my resources or doing something else on the side, I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to get them, and I will keep holding on my resources for future content. That being said, Fusion event, shard pull, I have been kind of trying to be a good boy and play it smart and hold on to my shards and soulstones. I wish I could pull them, but I need to think ahead. But at least now we're getting to pull a little bit. I hope not too much though, because ideally we would do this with as few sacreds as possible. Now I have like some... This is one of those events, right, where you can actually... I could just use past fragment fusions to get points, but I'm saving them for like later stuff, so we're just going with the sacreds. Okay, with that being said, let's see what happens. Do I want Basim if I can get it from here? Not really, but I'm not gonna cry if I get him. I'm sure, just, you know, before somebody says that how dare you say that the champions suck, I think the one with the good passive, Bayek, he does a lot of things that might be relevant in PvE, but that's not really... I don't really, you know, I'm not that interested in it. I'm in it in PvE to get the rewards and not more than that. I'm not doing it for the love of the game, but I'm sure he might be potentially be good in that, and tune in for other content creators for better analysis about the Hydra teams, and but not even Hydra teams. You know, not gonna be relevant on Hydra, I'm like 99% sure, but maybe good for Chimera missions, since it does so many different things like leads and increase and decrease accuracy and resistance and so on. There's so many different things. I'm sure people will figure out ways to use it for the missions. Anyway, good luck with your shard pulling if you didn't already do it. You could potentially just skip this and hold on to your shards, but it's still 2x sacreds. Let me just, I know it is, but let's just confirm it, right? Yeah, 2x sacreds with 10x whatever this guy's name is, Basim, yeah. So might as well do it now. I know there's like multiple events and you could skip this potentially if you want. Could we get some surprise and get a Python or something, or a Rotos? Rotos would always be good. I still need one of those. Okay, not getting a lot legendaries. How many pulls do I need to finish this? Oh, Plarium kind of putting me as a target. Yeah, there you go. There's my content creator cheater pack. That's why I'm doing content, so that I can actually do the fusions that I might otherwise not be able to if I didn't get the packs. In case, you know, anybody wonders, surprisingly, a bunch of people have been asking me for some reason, like what, like do I get the monthly game pack and what have I been buying recently? In the last 6 months since I came back, I bought 2 things. I bought the Elva pass that you get if you like returned to the game from break. It was because I was gonna skip it, but people on my Discord were convincing me that I really want to get Elva for Chimera, and they were right, so I did do that. And also I got the Predator pass, kind of for the same reason. I wasn't gonna get it, and then people convinced me otherwise, and if I hear a good argument, then I'll definitely change my mind. Outside of those, I didn't buy any shards yet. It's not out of the realm of possibilities for me to do it, but I'm not super keen on doing it. But I really have to make some room. For now, like I said, I'm focusing on being efficient as possible and continuing the legacy of BGE, so I'm not pulling even if I want to. Trust me, people were not, you know, when I say people, you know, some vocal minority were, you know, not happy with my Hilvi take. Wait, I still need to do one, right? Some people were not happy with my Hilvi take, and trust me, I really wanted to pull the soul stones for that, but I didn't do it. I wanted to, but so I have a bunch of soul stones for next Deck of Fate or Titan event if it's something that I deem I want to do. Come on, can we get one legendary? This is 2x. I'm not even pulling on like outside of 2x. I know it's 10x as well, but come on, can we get one? Okay, let's go. I'll take it. Gimme? Is that the Faction Guardians upgrade? I think it is. That's not bad. I mean, how many did I pull? I think I had like 17. So I did pull a good amount of them. Like 7, right? I pulled 7, I'm pretty sure. No, not here. Oh, it's not upgrade, fuck. I thought it might be. Well, maybe in the future. Does Gimme empower anything? That's another interesting thing. I'm sure it's kind of obvious, but maybe you haven't thought about it a lot recently. They are kind of making, with these limited time champions, they're making some crappy old champions potentially a lot more relevant, especially the non-void ones, because you might have a bunch of those. yeah, even for the new assassins, you can empower them with past champions. So I would be kind of frugal. I mean, I hope you guys were doing this even before this was a thing, but if there's like some random trash champion, don't even bother empowering them if you really don't need it, because it's always possible that some old champion, well, Python is maybe a little bit bad example because he was kind of good, so it's understandable why you might have empowered Python, but let's say something like Contra or that level champion, definitely don't empower your Richthof or Contras or that level champions. Yeah, that's about it. I'm not gonna go too much in detail about the fusion. I'm sure you guys can do it yourself, and you know, some people are gonna go super sparsely on it, free-to-play players, and some people are gonna do every event as possible, so do what you do on your account. But I will say that assassins are not super high for me. If you have other takes, I'm definitely open to hearing them, but I don't think I would be shocked if something unexpected happens with them. This event is kind of POC, by the way. I assume that we will mostly be able to compete it coincidentally, or at least with a little bit effort. But pretty nice rewards. I think this is the best part about the Assassin's collab for me, at least so far, that we will likely get all of these goodies. I assume they are meant to be that every active player is gonna get them if they want to, without huge investment. I think some people already finished it, yeah. Okay, one person, but anyway, that's it. Good luck with your shard pulls and see ya.